the question just going to be Gnar? Okay, so yeah, I mean, that feels like out of the champions that he has shown us, that makes the most sense because both the Camille and the Gwen were banned out. But I don't think it's like the best answer here. You know, generally
now Blabber here in the enemy jungle, but maybe Whippo sniffs something because he just pops the plant. And they do hit. So Quad has more movement, and we should see Quad. Yeah, he's doing it now. You hover into the river so that you can threaten your Realm Warps to get over there for a trap, and Cloud9 are moving up towards the Grubs. So they might actually do it. Loki is following.
Flash engage from Blabber for the slam into the wall. It's first blood given to Sven. As Busio is caught, you can see the flash still up because he had no chance to get away when Blabber saw his moment.
Yeah, and you can tell the comms leading up to that because they're like, okay, Quad, leak over. Maybe you can Realm Warp. You can try and trap them. But because they actually have Loki chasing, he keeps vision the whole time. He can keep that pressure on him, and they get that pick. And actually, the first kill going over quite nice into the hands of Sven on the Senna, plus the Grubs.
Okay, Inspired decides he wants to fight, though, but he's going in with a bunch of backup from C9, ready to arrive. A nice Mega Gnar into the wall, sets it up for Sven to grab the second kill. A third kill goes the way of Cloud9 before FlyQuest ever makes their way onto the board. Whippo prepares a decimating smash for a nice knock-up onto 2, but Vulcan's ready to return the favor as Whippo drops and C9.
Speed for the Senna should be able to keep safe. They're going to make a strong play at the very least on the bottom side, but they do have some evasive maneuvers available to them.
Yeah, Quad having to flash very early there. Did not want to lose more health than he absolutely had to. You can see him and Busio, though, still looking for the opportunity, maybe, for a counterattack. Masu and Inspired are making their way down, but Sven and Vulcan are going to find them in the jungle. It's a 2v2. Vulcan leading the charge here, immediately pops the Unbreakable Will. Mom rolls her way into the fight, but it ain't going to matter. Meanwhile, Loki's already got the kill onto Quad as Blabber's going to try to stay alive. FlyQuest need to fire back a little bit better. Vulcan goes in for a beautiful double knockoff with the Dawning Shadow from Sven providing the extra damage. C9 are slaughtering FlyQuest as Masu tries to escape, and Loki passes him the ball. Only Whippo is left standing, but he's in a 1 versus 5. Slammed back into the wall. C9, it'll take him a little while, but they'll get the job done. That's a
bottom side. A loss, and then gone for a counterplay on top side because they actually had Whippo hitting tower on top side here. Take a look at the minimap. You have Whippo already hitting the tower, so money for them.
More turret plate money backed up by the fact, remember, they got 2 out of 3 of the Grubs. Thanatos looking to fight Whippo in the 1v1 down on the bottom side at the same time as Vulcan and Blabber have to try to disengage back up here on the top side of the map as Whippo is about to die to Thanatos. Meanwhile, in that 1v1 I was talking about, he's already knocked into the zombie form as Busio with a quickness has to try to disengage. C9 going right back in. Mom hits nobody. Now another beautiful tackle into the wall. It's 2 dead.
Of the average Senna stacks here, and that isn't even including the support Sennas. So in a really good position. Whippo went for the dead man's, which is kind of this techie one too.
Everybody else is worried about their fight in the top side. Thanatos just making sure everybody's caught up to date on the latest information. C9 going in after the Herald, but a beautiful steal from Inspired as Blabber's now in the middle of 3. He tackles Inspired back into the wall and flashes away to safety. Inspired protecting himself with a Crescent Guard, but only for a moment. Thanatos has already found the first kill as Busio has to run before he becomes the second.
Get another one.
2 for 1.
So that's why Inspired wanted a full send.
We've got bit of a problem here in the FlyQuest jungle as Inspired is caught again. The Cloud9 gank squad just getting it done. Masu's got no way out of there. Thanatos jumps over the wall. Masu was 3 feet away from the turret.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of tells the story right there. When you're a full HP Scion under your tower and you're having to flash away from a dive, it is pretty
FlyQuest, it feels like it's just a suicide mission to try to go in there and stop them from taking this objective. The Herald's going to be summoned up instead, as FlyQuest will at least try to get that tier 1 turret with it that you mentioned earlier, Kobe. Looks like they're going to succeed on that one, but the cost could be great. Inspired going in after Sven, does put some pressure onto the Senna. Mom also colliding for a bit of extra damage as C9 scramble to retreat, get back to a safe position. FlyQuest, honestly, good moves there, using the Herald, putting the pressure onto Sven. They get the ghost out of him, they do some good damage, and now Flyer heading over to the Drake pit.
Thanatos no TP, and he's still showing top, so they might actually have to give this Dragon here. So FlyQuest being able to take the tier 1 mid, being able to take the Dragon from this heavily losing position is honestly so good for them, and I don't feel like C9 should have allowed them to do it.
Well, objective bounties were put into the game for a reason, and this is the reason.
Okay.
Because it gives FlyQuest something to play for, something to get back in.
There are still no kills for anyone wearing a FlyQuest jersey, as we've still got about 4 minutes until the next Drake spawns. Quad versus Thanatos up here on the top side. Thanatos is going to lose his Sterix. Quad trying to use the Realm Warp to guarantee the kill. Flash over the wall. Thanatos is going to get caught. Quad just got...
Your magic resistance and your armor, FlyQuest, are coming to fight it.
Okay, C9 only have the Otacon down to about 1/3 HP so far. Their DPS is not particularly quick. FlyQuest looking for an opportunity to still try to make something happen here. Blabber misses, trying to use the Poppy ult. Whippo dives into the middle of everybody, but where is the rest of the backup? Whippo still staying alive thanks to the Soul Furnace, but now finally gonna die as Sven goes on a rampage. Otacon down to 2,000. Inspired jumps in. He steals it away again! C9 still trying to fight. FlyQuest have already lost one, but they stole away the objective. Inspired stuck here in the front with the Dawning Shadow blasting right through him. Inspired about to drop as Busio has already fallen. At least they're gonna trade one back. Masu's going forward for a little bit more damage on this Sven, but he can't quite find enough. Quad protecting his smolder, as now they're gonna look out for Thanatos as well. Quad is the only man standing as Sven goes godlike and guns Masu down. Quad in a 1v4, but can he play those odds? Loki with the phase rush Orianna, just kiting him out. The Rise cannot close the gap. Quad's gonna grab the first kill. He tries to fire back, but the overload won't connect. Loki is gone.
Make sure they are really playing well in these next fights, because you give over one more fight, all of a sudden the game is even. And in that credible strong spot. I mean, there's 7 kills on Loki, but he's behind on gold because one of the 2 kills for Quad was over 1,000 gold that he got from taking down Thanatos' side. And there's no vision on this right now for FlyQuest, but Inspired spotted.
Yep, exactly. They're going to use the blue trinket, and now FlyQuest are on the approach. C9 trying to stop him. Inspired taking a ton of damage here at the very start of the fight, but Whippo's coming in to try to save his life. Thanatos in danger here, gets a Mega Gnar, but it doesn't do a whole lot, only finding Whippo. Masu's made his way into the fight, but Inspired is already dead. C9 taking the lead in this one as Whippo flashes over the wall trying to escape. Immediately, Busio tries to get a knock up there on the Blabber to make something happen, but Blabber's ready to just tackle right back in. Loki is legendary and Masu is down. Quad gets a kill back onto Vulcan as FlyQuest can see if they can get this done. Whippo trying to get a decimating smash there on the board for the TP, but it won't matter. FlyQuest will not be here in time. Inspired is not alive.
And push the game through.
You could definitely see the frustration on Masu's face in that replay, as Whippo losing 2/3 of his HP, forced back now. C9 continuing their push. That first tier 2 turret is removed.
As hard as FlyQuest fought to keep themselves in this game, they have been unable all game long to kill either carry on the side of Cloud9.
Yeah.
Still 0 deaths for both Loki and Sven. Still, they have their flashes up. Like, they can keep their range so easily here, and they're doing it very well with their positioning. You see Vulcan, this bodyguard, just hovering by them, ready to headbutt anyone back, ready to peel, ready to step in front.
Immediately, FlyQuest decide they want to try to go in, but a nice use of the ulti from Blabber turns it into an unfair fight. Whippo is already dropped, and C9 is disengaging before the zombie passive can do anything. Blabber with a stun back into the wall. Thanatos isn't even here. He's pushing over in mid lane. They wanted to use the Realm Warp from Quad to try to catch him, maybe make it a 1-for-1 on the delay, but they don't find him. Now, immediately trying to re-engage. Thanatos knocked up into the air, but he flashes back to the rest of his team as FlyQuest are still trying to find some kind of an angle here to fight. Inspired with a knock up onto Blabber as Quad tries to chase forward, but instead the Rise doesn't have the range, and Sven is going to take him out.
Also has him low.
Danger. Masu's got a lot of damage, but does he have enough? Sven tries to get away. Immediately Busio goes back in for the grand entrance. He can't find him. Masu's going to grab the kill. Masu trying to go to town. He gets a triple with the Smolder execution. And Busio and Inspired now got to deal with Loki and Thanatos, and they want nothing to do with this 2v2. FlyQuest will get an even fight and hold the line. The TP's coming in, but you've already got Baron-empowered recalls. It should be C9 getting out of there, but Loki overstays his welcome. Whippo has found the enemy Orianna. Sven got his first death in the last fight, and Loki might just get his right here.
Thank goodness for phase rush there. Loki's able to proc it. He runs out, and it actually delays that dragon take. Cloud9, they're still chasing to the ends of the earth here, but the Orianna is just running them across the map.
Phase rush only works if you can hit dudes.
Let's see. Nowhere to go.
Here comes the Whippo train, and Loki gets buried from an 1,100 gold
soul points.
Still, I gotta say, kind of costly there. Loki canceled his recall. He decided to cancel it. He wasn't sure if he wanted to stay around or not. His teammate finished the recall. He stayed, gives over 1,100 gold. And it is just this 4K now in the advantage here for C9, but Whippo maybe in a little bit of trouble. Could get chased down, has no ulti.
Yeah, Bwipo without the ult to get away from this one. It will take him a while because he has the Soul Furnace. Inspired jumps in.
Masu's here.
Now they're going to look for Thanatos. Masu, keep your eyes on him. There's so much damage on this Smolder. Bwipo and Inspired doing all right here in the 2v2 so far with Mom coming in. But the Sterix from Thanatos keeping him protected. Vulcan wants to try to go back into the fight immediately. As found the angle onto Sven. As Masu is down, Blabber with a massive pick on the big cannon for FlyQuest. Bwipo stuck in the front line, about to die. Inspired so low on HP, it's hard to fight back. Quad is behind enemy lines, and he'll be buried right there. A double kill for Loki as Blabber continues charging forward. Inspired and Busio both knocked up into the air by Vulcan, and Blabber keeps hunting. Another hit should be able to find the final bit of damage for the kill, and Sven will do just that. Inspired's the last to die, and C9 get the ace. Blabber jumping in here with the very start of things. Thanatos wants an angle, but he's going to be CC'd. He has to crunch back out as FlyQuest. They lose 2/3 of Bwipo's health bar, but everybody else is still doing just fine. Again, Sven at 130 stacks here on the Senna. Yes, technically Smolder scales for infinity, but it's much less effective after 225. Senna keeps that efficacy all the way to the end of the game as C9 are going to start up the Baron themselves. FlyQuest on the approach. Keep your eyes on Busio. He's got the smite ready to maybe steal it away. Loki's going to lose half his HP here at the very beginning of the fight as Inspired jumps in and makes some space versus 4. Thanatos, no Narvar, but now he's at the pincer angle. C9 disengaging. FlyQuest have disrupted the Baron for now.
But look at Inspired's health. He is incredibly low. They're going to look for Thanatos.
Thanatos knocked up into the air. A beautiful little bit of juggling coming out from Busio to set it up for Masu. But now Bwipo's going to get traded back. Both top laners down.
The fight's going to continue. FlyQuest are posturing here. They do have control over mid lane, but look at Blabber again positioning himself for a surprising angle.
They're going to trade objectives. The fight will not happen now. It will be after the soul has been claimed.
Okay, Baron over to FlyQuest. The Baron for Soul trade is always a classic because the Soul lasts forever, even if the Baron is more powerful in the moment. It just means you need to get a lot of value out of the next 3 minutes.
So much range in scaling and has been so far ahead. Soon we'll have Ghost up as well. Will be so mobile, so difficult to deal with.
Speaking of difficult to deal with, Thanatos is up in the top lane, completely unanswered.
Realm Warp
Pushing, Realm Warp into the back. Inspired of Busio, looking to make something happen here as they try to dive towards Cloud9. Mom roars in. Sven and Loki both nearly killed, but everybody's still somehow staying alive. Thanatos has made his way into the fight now as Blabber tries to tackle into Masu, but he ain't gonna find the angle here for the kill just yet. Thanatos still chasing. Masu getting away off to the side. Inspired about to die, but still hanging on. The tier 2 turret is claimed, but now C9 of a 5 versus 4. Masu and Bwipo still trying to get away from this one. Blabber tackles forward, but there's no wall to slam the Smolder into. Bwipo's still stuck in the front line now, but that's not an easy to kill target. C9 got the firepower. They're looking to take him down as Busio can't get away either yet. The steadfast presence locks them up, and C9 beat him down.
FlyQuest went for the surprise play, but with the Ocean Soul, Cloud9 win out in the war of attrition. They will chase them down. Masu flaps away from Loki, but can he get away from Blabber?
He's got to try to avoid getting tackled into these walls. Blabber doesn't find a stun right there. Ocean Soul is so strong, man. Blabber's going to look for another chance here. Masu misses him with the snot bubble. Blabber still chasing. Masu trying to flap over the wall. Blabber gets the ace. C9's in the base, 35-10. It was such a closer fight than we thought it was gonna be. But C9 will emerge triumphant in this third game. Inspired will not stop the game-ending push. Busio just gonna be another kill for a 37-10 scoreline. C9 going to match point.
C9 very nearly getting a kill a minute in such a bloody game here. It looks